What's up guys, good evening and welcome to Roma Theory. The philosophy at Roma right now is this: you have to keep pushing no matter what. You're gonna face the toughest of winds, you're gonna face the worst of storms, sometimes you will lose, sometimes you're gonna play absolutely terribly, but the most important thing is never giving up. Keep pushing, keep drilling, and keep grinding, because we're grinding right now. We're in a grinding process where we're trying to find our perfect identity, but it's still far away. And therefore, to win these games, you have to win them with your spirit. I think today's performance was probably one of the best, if not the best, under Gasperini. Why am I saying this? I'm saying this because today's performance was the most similar in what Gasperini asks for and in Gasperini's characteristics. The goal we scored is a Gasperinian goal under all effects. We're going to analyze that in a second. But I'm looking at the first half. Then in the second half, there was a bit of a drop, which was probably expected. But that first half performance was the best 45 minutes that we've played under this manager, because it was the closest thing to what Gasperini asks for in every game in what we've done in up to now in 10 game weeks in the league and in a few game weeks in Europe. It's a massive win. It's a statement win. I think this win is very similar to the Florence win, in a sense that it's a statement win because you're winning these games with your spirit. Because again, you probably could have won this game 3-0 and we wouldn't have robbed anything. Wesley devoured basically a goal which was harder to miss than score at the end. Pellegrini hit the post. Chilik probably missed, we could probably call it a free header. We created a lot today, but we also missed a lot today. We capitulated on that DYBALA goal, and again, there are still some evident problems up front when it comes to scoring goals, which is why I say these wins are attitude wins. These wins are reaction wins, especially after that Thursday performance. You know, it's never easy to go to Sassuolo. We talked about this in the match preview. Sassuolo is always a pain in the ass. I don't think they played a great game today. I don't. I think they pretty much did nothing. If Sassuolo scored today, there was I never really got the impression that they were able to score a goal and create a goal by themselves. If they scored today, it was solely because we made them score. They weren't amazing, but going there is always hostile. And I must say that stadium today was all ours. It was like playing at home, which is usually the case in Sassuolo. But I'm happy. I'm happy because I don't look at the league table. It's very tempting. I always say this when we win, but you shouldn't look at the league table. The league table says something very important. The league table says that we're currently first place with Napoli, same points in front of Inter, Milan, Juventus, and everyone else. And it's something important. And there's definitely a certain analysis that will have to be distributed and paid attention to when it comes to looking at the league table, because it's not a surprise. It's not a coincidence. People will call it a paradox. I can see where this paradox is coming. And I personally can agree with this paradox. Out of all the teams up there, we're the weakest, 100%. It's not like we won today or we won in Florence. This statement makes me want to change this statement. No, we are the weakest up there. Out of all the teams that are competing for that position, we're the weakest. But at the same time, we win games that other teams don't win. Maybe we show some attitude in these games, not counting that Thursday performance, but we show some sort of spirit that other teams don't do. And football is not all about quality. It's not all about talent. Yes, those are the most important things, but it's about the teamwork. It's about the group spirit. And yes, the paradox is there because we're grinding. We're not massively dominating these games like Napoli did yesterday. You know, Napoli yesterday, apart from that penalty, as I said yesterday, disgusting penalty, they deserved to win. Massive win. We're still not able to pull up such a game in big games like the one last Sunday, or in a few games where we're going to play Napoli at home, I don't think we're still able enough to pull such a performance. But we're same points as them, and there is a certain credit that this team is owed, probably. Right, I want to analyze the game, of course. If you haven't already, make sure to hit that like button. 1,000 likes? No, we're probably not going to get that. Well, can we? I don't know. If we can get 200 likes on this match reaction, I would be absolutely extremely happy if we can hit that. So hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and do all of that good beauty down below. Ibrahim Wali, thank you very much for the $10. You say great performance, great win, always Roma. Thank you very much, mate. Glad that you're back, and love the support as always. It means a lot. Let's crack the code to this game. That first half performance was absolutely phenomenal on every point of view. On intensity point of view, on a pressing point of view, on an exchanging the ball point of view, which is not something that we normally do very well. But actually, chronologically, what did I say yesterday? I was convinced that he was going to start DYBALA as a false nine again, which was a risk, because people don't like, the majority of fans don't like this DYBALA as a false nine. And I must say, in certain games it doesn't work. But something told me that there was something in me yesterday evening that went, he is, after listening to his press conference and the words he said about Ferguson, I'm like, he's going to start DYBALA as a false nine again tomorrow. And he did so. I think DYBALA played a great game. I think, fingers crossed, this form stays. But the form that he showed on Thursday, the form that he showed today, is the DYBALA that we want and the DYBALA that we need. Today he was the man of the match for me, but a massive shout out. In fact, not even more than a massive shout out. Brian Cristante, absolutely incredible game. This is where the Gasperini genius comes in, because the position Cristante played in today, if you paid attention to it, was not his ordinary position. It was the position that Cristante started at Atalanta with Gasperini. It's kind of that Pasalic position, in a sense that he is in that play position, but he advances a lot. He's the pivot that presses, and he needs to occupy, excuse me, a lot of space in the box. And it will lead. If Cristante, oh, I'm choking on I ate a hazelnut before starting the stream, and I'm choking on it live. Okay, excuse me about that. This is a position that if Cristante gets played in very often, it will lead to him scoring more goals, 100%. Because it's the position that Cristante started his career in. Then, I don't know who was the manager that brought him down and dropped him down. And again, he's got certain characteristics to play in those positions. He has. The way he distributes the ball, in my opinion, is good. At times, it can be bad. But generally speaking, Cristante is good at distributing the ball. So the idea of dropping him down made sense. The problem with Cristante in a lower position is his speed. It's his tempo. It's the times of transition, which in a more advanced position are less evident if they're inefficient, right? And that's why today he played a great game, because that is his position. He was the highest man that pressed in that pivot today. And he's the one that kind of, because the goal that we scored is the most Gasperinian goal that we've scored ever since he's our manager. Because it begins with Ndika pressing high on a high line and getting the ball back with a high press, giving it to DYBALA, who exchanges it fast to Cristante, who runs into the box and shoots, and that could have been a goal. And then DYBALA hits it on a second attempt when the goalkeeper kind of rebuts it back. So it's a very good goal. It's a goal which is studied. It's not a coincidental goal. And I can I say thank God, because we can't always be winning on set pieces and penalties. This is not, I'm not going to call this an open play goal, because it does start with their error, their mistake, but it's a forced mistake that we forced on them. And it's something that Gasperini wants to see more of, and it's that high press. But still, it is a goal coming from their mistake technically. I still think, as always, that we still lack in the ability of creating goals by ourselves and putting the ball at the back of the net by ourselves. I think today's performance, can I say, Gasperini after the Victoria Poznan game said that a lot of players, not a lot of players, but a few players had to look at themselves in the mirror and analysing themselves what they're doing wrong. Because more than this he can't do. And I must say, as Dovbik's biggest, not going to call myself a hater, because I'm not a hater. A hater is something else. As in recent times, I have been criticizing Dovbik every time I had the chance to. Rightly so. Today, he played a good game. Again, you always need that goal when you want to back your strikers. But today, he played a good game. Probably the best performance he played in this season. Some very good stops, some very good turns. Could have easily ended the game with 2 assists on that Pellegrini post and that Wesley squander at the end. Protected the ball well at the very end when you need that physical presence to waste some time to keep the ball. I saw it today. It was a good performance from him. Now you need to build on this, and we need goals. Because I saw somebody saying this in the fan forum. This is a massive win. It is. But again, the next time we will play a tough team, if we squander so many chances as we did today, we're not going to win. And we're going to be back there questioning our strikers, questioning our offensive threat. This is a good performance, but our offensive production is not good enough. And that is still a persistent problem even after we win games. It is. Okay. So, yeah, Ibrahim, sorry if I ignored it. Thank you very much again for the other super chat. I will always support you and never miss one video of you, but I'm on the road, always driving 18-wheelers, truck and trailer. I can't type much, you know. Oh, thank you, mate. Massive shout out to you. Really, thank you a lot from the bottom of my heart, guys. Everyone that supports the channel and watches these videos, absolutely love it. And I'm glad you like the videos, Ibrahim, and everyone else. So, going back to the analysis, Cristante played great, Dovbik played good, DYBALA played great. The other player that is growing, because he is growing, because the trajectory of his performances is growing, is Wesley. And I want to speak about Wesley for a second, because today, apart from that miss at the end, which he can never miss, that is a goal that you can never miss. Apart from that miss at the end, Wesley today played immensely well. He is growing. At the start of the season, don't count that goal, that lucky goal that he scored in the Bologna game, which gifted us the 3 points. Apart from that, at the start of the season in the first games, I saw a very shy player. A shy player who didn't exploit his best characteristics at the fullest. Wesley technically is not the best, but Wesley does something that not many players do. And it's invading and using the space in a proper way. And now I'm starting to understand why Gasperini really wanted him. Because those are the fullbacks that Gasperini wants. Fullbacks that invade the space every 2 seconds. With or without the ball. And that's where the difference is. And that's why Angelino and Tsimikas are not prototype fullbacks of a Gasperini system. Because why did Tsimikas get subbed off after 45 minutes today? it's a signal that Gasperini sent him going, you played shit. Because otherwise, he would have never gotten subbed off. Tsimikas and Wesley. Tsimikas, I must say, I expected so much better from, and I'm being very negatively impressed by him. And so is Gasperini, because otherwise you don't sub him off after 45 minutes and change Wesley on the wrong side, which he played great in, by the way. But even Angelino is not somebody who, without the ball, uses tempo and space well. He's somebody who needs the ball in his feet and crosses it in. Wesley doesn't. Wesley does something that Bellanova and Zappacosta in his Atalanta did perfectly, which is put that intensity shift on the flanks, right? So I think Wesley is growing because he's a different player. Even on Thursday in that shit show, Wesley and DYBALA were probably the best. Because Wesley is starting to use the space very well. And with somebody of his pace, if he starts learning how to use the space properly, he's going to score goals and he's going to provide more assists. Because not many people stop Wesley's pace, really. So Wesley, I'm liking recently. Other players, Kone, immense. Absolutely immense again, everywhere today. El-Enaoui didn't play bad. The only thing I want to see more of El-Enaoui is he needs to be less shy. I know that it's one of those positions that doesn't require a lot of attention because he's always there doing the dirty job. You don't pay attention to him. But to be even better, he needs to do that with an emphasis, with an exclamation mark. But he didn't play bad today. Defense was solid. Mancini's an absolute animal. Pinamonti, I must say, rolled on the floor about 8 times trying to get a foul and trying to get Mancini a red card. Pinamonti changed job, like go clean toilets, because Pinamonti spent more time on the floor than standing up today. He did absolutely nothing. Mancini is an animal when it comes to physically marking these strikers. The negative note is Hermoso. Because I must be honest with you, I have no idea how Hermoso managed to end that game without getting sent off. I have no idea. The cameras caught him on a zoom multiple times, and every time the camera caught him, I heard Hermoso shout "puta madre" at the referee. Not only did he get subbed in the second half and in the span of 3 seconds got a yellow card with a stupid elbow, whether that's a foul or not, you can agree on it, but you don't do that, especially immediately after getting subbed in. But he insisted on insulting the referee's mother about 8 times in this game. I have no idea. I don't know how it is possible for that man to have ended this game, because any other referee would have kicked him off. So I'm like, I said it already. Every time Hermoso passes the ball around in the fence, my heart stops. I'm not able to codify that man. I don't understand if his experience makes him a good player or if his experience makes him a bad player because it makes him too overconfident. I don't know Hermoso. I don't know how to read his game. I don't. He's such a weird player that gets me excited at times because he has some good clearances, but the majority of times he stops my heart. And he needs to be less, at times he needs to be less aggressive, because in other games he would have not ended today's game. Other than that, guys, okay, let me read a few comments and then final comments and then I'll end it. Unfortunate not to be 2-0, but 8 out of 5 out of 10 performance says no social. Loved the performance today. Unfortunately, did not become 2-0, but glad to see the light coming out of Dovbyk. I think this was the best game we've played this season. We looked alive, threatening, and should have easily won 2-3-0. Says Phoenix, great match. Should have won 4-0. Paolo was superb. Yeah, I agree. Paolo's getting his consistency going. Now, the last thing we need is now, at this time that he's picking up form, him getting injured. because Paolo needs consistency at these levels these days. To keep going, he needs consistency, and he's building it, but we can't make it interrupt. Cristante was great. Cristante is a better playmaker than Pellegrini, says Safaunesh. I don't think you will post a match vlog soon. We're only winning away games, says ZX Trenix. Well, hopefully this pattern continues, because next weekend I will be in Milan for the Milan game. And we've got a midweek game now against Parma. Again, we're playing, the rhythm of these games is intense. We're playing on Wednesday at home against Parma, and then we've got Milan next Sunday, and we will be there. So hopefully, I mean, it would be a very, very, very mental win at San Siro against Milan. But yeah, the idea of this paradox is that the reason some people use the word paradox with us right now is because we're doing the opposite of what historically we've always done. We've won all our games away from home this season, something that I think the last time we did was when the dinosaurs were roaming around. And at the same time, we're so shit at home, and it's something that we're not usually very we never lose at home. If you eliminate this season, where we've lost 3 games already at home, we're a team that never lost at home, or lost in very rare occasions. So, yeah, it's like everything is flipped around. That's also why it's a paradox. The past 10 seasons, the team with the most goals scored on and won twice. The team with the least goals conceded have won the league 9 times. Defense, says Gabriel. Thank be to God, says Giovanni. Pellegrini hitting the post pissed me off, says Oxy. Elenau is very impressive today, says Marble. I mean, I'm just happy Wesley was a player that the board allowed to get, but he's definitely improving. Wesley has so much promise. And Grinta, says Rosie. Serie A got to be the best league right now. Well, it's very tight. It's very tight, and it's a league. I think, again, something that, because I didn't do a zoom in onto Gasperini's press conference on Friday. I think he said a very interesting thing. This is a league where nobody gifts you anything, which is why, good team or bad team, the most important thing is a fighting spirit. This is a very physical league, and this is a league where no team gifts you anything. Look at Milan on Friday against Pisa. Every game is a physical, animalistic battle. You know, we play Parma on Wednesday. Don't you dare repeat the same mistake as Victor Repolzen. Those are the teams that we struggle at times because we play too overconfident. Look at what happened on Friday against between Milan and Pisa. You know, this is a very competitive league. Then, of course, there's the best teams and the worst teams. But this is a league where nobody gifts you anything. So no game should be played with an overconfidence. No game. We controlled the ball much better this game. Each possession didn't need to always move forward. We did good moving the ball back, and we pressed so much better in this game. Which is why I think I want to hear what Gasperini said post-game, because I expect, especially in that first half, second half we dropped. We can't hide this. Second half, the intensity dropped, the quality dropped, the precision dropped, the pressing dropped, which is understandable because the optimal condition still isn't there, but we're getting there. But that first half performance, I was very impressed, and I believe the Gasperini will also be very impressed about it. Right, guys, I think I'm going to end it there. If you haven't already, do hit the like button, as if we can get 200 likes on this video. I know it's a lot, but you guys can do it. Absolutely you can. If you can just hit that thumbs up down below, it pushes these videos out there so that more Roma fans can join this community, so it would be much and greatly appreciated. Also subscribe to the channel. Look at that. We're like 10 subscribers away from 17k. So if you can get your families, friends, other Roma friends that you know part of this community, as always, it would be good. Massive win, massive league position, but we can't pay too much attention to it now. because we've got tough games and we need to remain very concentrated. Talk to you soon. Simo out.